Oh, hi, Erdrick. What's up? Hey there. Hi, Erdrick. You want pets right now? Hold on. I'm trying to record. I'm trying to keep this recording casual, so I got my blanket off my bed, and I just put myself under it. I'm currently under my blanket. Just hit the record button, and Erdrick, he likes to go under the blanket, so he's here now. Erdrick. Hi. Mwah. How are you? How are you? Oh, excuse me, kitten. Oh, I love you too. I love you too. Anyway, I wanted to do something nice and big and important, but it's late. I got home from work and I got some stuff to do, but I know for sure what I'm going to record tomorrow. And I'm excited for it. Just gonna go for it. One of the ideas that I've had. But for today I'm just going to just gonna keep it casual right now. Nice and toasty and warm. And just talk about my day at work. So, today was a funny day. Apparently, before I got to work, there was some kind of argument or some kind of kerfuffle between some of my coworkers and the managers. Specifically, it had to do with some grievances that my coworkers had with my like arrangements and seating stuff, the way I was organizing things. And it was like two of them, but all the others were like, no, I don't know why they're getting so upset for. And, they were just like kind of confused as to why things were happening. And then, like, I checked myself, and even the manager was just like, yeah, just watch out. I came in and he was like, yeah, just watch out for them. And, you know, uh, come ask me any questions if you have any. And then, like, gave me some warnings and some guidelines about some stuff. And I was like, okay. Well, that's fine. I can handle that. I don't mind if these two are upset with me. I'll just do my thing. And even those two coworkers came up and were just like, make sure you do this thing. And I was just like, okay. The slightly stirred and upset and so on. And so, and so, what ended up happening is it was like something out of a story. Something only a higher power could organize. And so, the way the day turned out, it turned out that in order to keep doing my job properly and follow the rules and to be entirely fair, that so basically what it is that with my job, different groups come in of different sizes, right? So there are big groups, there are small groups, and different areas can handle different amounts of people. They're different sizes. And so those two coworkers were upset that last time they never got any of the especially big groups. Why did only that person in that area get all the especially big groups and we didn't get any big groups? And they said some other things, like I skipped them, which I did not. I know for sure that yesterday I didn't skip them even once. In fact, it was a very smooth day yesterday. Everybody was getting stuff. There was never any like waiting rooms or even like one person getting sat more than the others. But it mainly had to do with the sizes of the groups. The fact that some groups were big and some were small, and they wanted all the big groups. The thing is that the areas they usually get are not very well equipped for big groups and usually get filled up with smaller groups. So it's often best to use a particular area in the place for the bigger groups, because what happens is that their area is filled with smaller groups. In order to make it for bigger groups, you have to take a bunch of their stuff and combine it, which then makes it lose space for the smaller groups. And usually by the time those big groups get in there, their areas are already dotted with smaller groups, meaning that their stuff can't be combined to form the bigger groups, because there are already people occupying it who essentially have staked claim to it. But what was funny is that the way, and everybody has turn order, right? And I think it's mainly dependent on who got in first. And so what ended up happening today is that somehow, almost going based on turn order and who came in and following all the rules, it somehow turned out that almost pretty much every single time a big group came in, it was exactly on the turn of the person of who I would sit the big groups with last time. And it would completely miss those two coworkers who were complaining. And and so they tried to complain again. But then everyone was like, literally what? What are we supposed to? There's literally nothing. Everything is being followed to the T. There's no manipulation here. There's no cheating. You're not being skipped. It's literally just the timing and the turns, and literally everyone was so on edge from all the complaining that they were watching too to see how turns and seatings were shaping up. And so those two literally couldn't really say or bring anything up. And thankfully, my other coworkers were watching out, and they were like, yeah, like literally, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. Everything is being followed to the T. It's literally just that every single time a big group comes in, it comes in for that area in the back where the big groups usually go. And it kept going over them, just over and over, completely by chance. And then at one point, while I was up at my area, I was like, God, please send in one large group for them over there so that they can at least get one and see that this is not planned by me. and immediately after that, a big group came in for their area, right on their turn as well. Like, everything was right on turns. That's the thing. This wasn't me like having to delegate or see that, oh, this whole area is full, and then planning and doing the layout and trying to get everything to fit like puzzle. It was puzzle pieces. It was literally just on their turn, right after I asked that a group came in that was big and was made up for their area. Sorry, there's cat fur on my phone. There we go. It was for their area at the exact timing that I was like, God, please. That's when a large group came in. And then after that, again and again, large groups kept coming in exactly on the timing of the turn of the person I usually sit large groups with, and skipping those two. And there's nothing I can do about it, because it would have been, I guess you could say, hypocritical for me to try and finagle that, because then I would have been skipping everyone else's turns to give them large tables, and then they would have been upset. But it was just a matter of timing. It was just how it turned out. It was really something. It was crazy. Like, perfectly timed too. Almost every single time. The big groups came right when I had to seat the area in the back. Yeah. And today it turns out that someone somewhere had ordered 48 dozens of Dunkin' Donuts, and then for some reason mysteriously canceled the entire order and was just stuck with like 48 things of Dunkin' Donuts, and so gave like 5 of those sets to the people at my job, and there were donuts. Just like, hey, you want some donuts? And so I to-go boxed a whole bunch of donuts. And so again, I got more food to-go box to take home with me. And I got a bunch of donuts in my fridge right now. And I was just like, well, look at this. Someone orders 48 dozens of donuts and cancels it for some mysterious reason, and then gives a bunch, and now I got a bunch to-go donuts. This is great. What in the world is going on? The whole day has been like that. It was like... And also, the other person showed up this morning. This is odd. I don't know what's up with it. Showed up with a blender and a pack of water and like a spill catcher lid that you put on a pan, and suddenly just showed up at the door when they were coming to pick me up, like, hey, you want this, like. And I was like, where? I didn't say anything, but I just thought to myself, where did you get this blender? What is this? Where did you get this stuff? I didn't ask. I decided not to ask, but they're like, here, and I was, oh yeah, and olives and sardines. I was like, what? Where did you get all this? Why do you have this? Where is this from? And with no context, absolutely no context for why these items were there, or why they had them. But I was just like, yeah, I'm okay. I don't need a blender. I'm not gonna use. I'm not gonna use it. If you give it to me, I'll have nothing to use it on. I don't know why. I mean, that. I was thinking to myself, like, I have absolutely nothing to use a blender on. What do you? And I was just like, what is happening behind the scenes? Why does the other person have like a full pack of water and a blender? And it was like an old blender too. It wasn't even like a fresh new blender. I was like, what? Where would you even get this? You have a blender. Anyway, yeah, so I didn't accept the blender. And but I got some olives and sardines. I'm guessing the other person did something and just wanted to get rid of them. And a pack of Aquafina waters. Yeah. Just no explanation whatsoever. Just like, okay. That's interesting. Let's see. What my phone's at 5%. Let's see how far I can get before before I have to go plug it in. But yeah, so strange day at work. And then strange morning. Yeah, I don't know what's up with all that. But you know what? Kind of felt good. It felt like someone looking out for me. I think it's this nice feeling of like, maybe God is looking out for me right now. Maybe these two people complained, and then miraculously my system is miraculously justified by amazing timing of just somehow everything ending up exactly how I put it anyway. And things just kind of going according to how I do them. Strangely. It's like, this is incredibly coincidental if this is just pure chance that it would turn out this way. And then the donut thing. I don't know about the blender thing, but the way my work day turned out and everything just with no effort from me naturally turning out how I organize things anyway. That was just weird for me. But yeah. So if you hear a spraying sound in the background, I'm using some spray on some gnats that got inside. They're very irritating. And they're kind of all over the place. It's just Dawn dish soap, but it's very efficient at eliminating the gnats. Okay, I think I got it. Anyway. So yeah. That was kind of my day. And there's no D&D today because my one very good friend is going out to do stuff. So it's just me right now, and I'm going to go ahead and read through that 70-page script. I started a bit of it yesterday, but I'm going to go ahead and continue on today reading through it coming up with the poster and the pricing and the commissions and all that. Gonna go through that, finish up that dramatic reading. My phone's at 4% now. Let's see. Is there anything else? No, I think this is gonna be a pretty short audio journal, but I'm excited for tomorrow. There's something that I want to do for tomorrow, and I'm gonna go ahead and just do it. So one of the things I've been wanting to do, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it tomorrow. So yeah, I think I'll go ahead and stop here with that funny little anecdote and drop the thumbnail, upload this journal. I think that's it for right now.